mean, bowling is a sport, because the sport's defined. I taught sociology a long time, which is a set of competitive activities in which winners or losers are determined by physical performance within an established set of rules. So it is a physical game. I mean, it makes it a sport because it's physical performance, hand-eye coordination, speed, strength, and everything. But I would say the best ones have the mental game, because it can seem very easy at any moment, and it can seem impossible at any moment. So just living in that next shot is really, takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of maturity to get to that point to where you can get rid of a bad shot and just focus on the next one.
It's so important that you keep your mental game in check, more or less. You got to be able to block out everything and anything that's going on in a bowling center during a bowling tournament, or during even bowling leagues, or even just practice. I made it a point when I practice to bowl right next to some of the screamiest kids and disruptive kids around, just so I can get my mental game and my concentration to a higher level.
It's the only sport that you play where you have an invisible playing field. So a lot of people don't understand how the oil on the lane really impacts the complexity of the game, how much oil matters and how much your ball is rotating and how it changes as you're participating in your bowling. So the mental part of it is, it's almost kind of like putting in golf, or golf in general, just that focus on the next shot takes an extreme amount of focus.
People told me I couldn't be good at it, so I made it a point to be good at it. I played other sports. I was good in most sports. It was a good thing that I did have athletic ability, but people telling me there's no way I would make it on as a bowler, I said, well, I'm going to prove them wrong, and I did.
My favorite memory of bowling is a little bit of a humble brag. Is there was a bowling alley where I grew up in that was open for 30 years, and no one had ever had a perfect game. And in bowling, a perfect game is one game of all strikes, so 12 strikes in a row. And I was the first person to ever do that. And I was in college, and my sister was there, and they even did a big newspaper article because it was a small town. So even my claim to fame now in my small town is like, hey, aren't you the bowler?
You know, I can still remember throwing my first perfect game. It was back when, matter of fact, it was 357 perfect games thrown that year that I threw it throughout the whole United States. And that was back in 1976. That was one of the most exciting feelings I had, is throwing a perfect game.
So I'm almost empty nested. I have a senior in high school, and I got some kid of mine who's at UNF as a sophomore in some crazy field of study. But once I'm empty nested, I'm going to be spending a lot more time bowling. Right now, I pretty much bowl every Saturday and Sunday competitively, different parts of the state. Even head over towards Jacksonville sometimes and bowl at some tournaments over there. But I definitely want to bowl probably twice as much when I'm empty nested. My schedule is going to open up a lot, and I definitely want to get back into bowling as much as possible.
I'm planning on trying to bowl till I'm in my late 90s. If I can reach that, I'll be very happy. If God helps me, and if I keep my body in better shape than I am, I will achieve that.
So twofold, just to pick bowling as a sport in general, I think a lot of high school athletes, they don't really think about bowling, but there's so many sports that your career is going to be done, you know, at some point. But bowling, you can bowl your whole life. So I think, you know, if you're a competitive person, get into bowling because it's a game that you can continue to improve and work on the rest of your life. And if you're going to take it more seriously, definitely get equipped. Right? It's just like golf. If you can just pick some random golf clubs, you're not going to be as good as getting something that's fitted for you. So, you know, your hands are different size for different people, and deciding, you know, definitely getting equipment. A nice pair of shoes and a nice bowling ball that's fit for your hand that a professional has gotten you set up for will definitely get you down there. And YouTube is great. YouTube is great to learn all kinds of information about how to become a good bowler from start to finish.
Take as much advice